Hey agents, we got the target loot allocation for July 9th, 2020. This is Shadow Gaming, and if you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. Alright, let's get started with the Dark Zones, then DC, then New York City, then we'll end the video. So today we got knee pads in DZ West, we got Hana U Corporation in DZ South, and we got Fenders Group AB in DZ East. There are three things I'd recommend today if you're up for it. So, first thing that I'd recommend is Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads in DZ West and the Emperor's Guard knee pads in DZ West as well. It's going to give you 1% armor regen on your knee pads. This pairs extremely well with the Foundry Bulwark set. So if you have a build with Foundry Bulwark where you're still missing the Emperor's Guard knee pads, I would go ahead and head to DZ West today. Also, if you're in DZ West, I would check out the DZ vendor in DZ West because they're selling the Virginian for 152 DZ resources. I'd check this out. I am shy about 9 DZ resources, so I need to get back in there. If anyone doesn't know how to get DZ resources, what you need to do is deconstruct the loot that you pick up from farming landmarks and getting the loot drops in the Dark Zone. Go ahead and just deconstruct those in your contamination bag before you extract, and they will turn into DZ resources. You get, I believe, 1 per loot that you deconstruct, and then you'll extract the DZ resources and they'll end up in your mailbox. And at that point, you can put them in your inventory. I believe you can store up to 300 DZ resources. And then Fenris Group in DZ East. So if you're looking for the Ferocious Calm, I believe it's chest piece, you can go ahead and check out DZ East over here. For the northern section highlights, we do have Assault Rifles in Coney Island Ballpark and Walker Harrison Co. at Manning National Zoo. Even Overlord ornaments in Camp White Oak. Although for the Overlord ornaments, if you're looking for the Fox's Prayer knee pads, I know Cassie Mendoza, I believe she's closed as of right now, but in a few more days I believe she'll open up again. She's selling a nearly god-rolled Fox's Prayer knee pads. I forget what the third attribute is, but it's a 8% damage to targets out of cover and 14% weapon damage, almost 15%. And I forget what the third attribute is, but if you want to wait a few days, you can just buy the Fox's Prayer knee pads at Cassie Mendoza. If you're looking for a good assault rifle, remember P416 variants, military AKM, and my favorite is the FAMAS, and you can also get the Police M4. That one's really good as well, but I believe the optimal range on the Police M4 is lower than usual, so you might want to factor that in. And then of course the Exotic Chameleon, if you're looking for that as well, you can farm here for that as well. And of course Walker Harrison Co. You can attempt the time trial at the Manning National Zoo, and if you're looking for like the Chain Killer or any other Walker Harrison Co. piece, you can grab it here at Manning National Zoo. That's what I'd recommend in the north area. Alright, so we got the highlights for the west side area. We got submachine guns in West End. And we also got Seska in downtown West, Petrov at Bank Headquarters, light machine guns at Roosevelt Island, Walker Harrison Co. at the West Potomac Park. We also have light machine guns at DARPA Research Labs, and Gilligard at DCD Headquarters. We also have Petrov again in the Constitutional Hall area. So what I would recommend is submachine guns in West End if you're looking for the Lady Death or refarming the Chatterbox. I would go and check out this area. If you want a good submachine gun, I'd recommend the MP7, the MPX, or MP5, those kind of variants. And of course the Vector variants, I believe, are the highest in burst damage. You can also get the Cold Relations named Enhanced PP, I believe it is. And then for the Liberty, I'd recommend just doing the quest for it. You can farm that back to back basically for the quest items. There's 3 main missions I believe you have to finish to get the exotic parts for the Liberty to craft it. So I never really recommend farming pistol target or loot for that. If you're looking for the Bullet King or the Pestilence, the Good Times named machine gun, or just a good high-rolled light machine gun, I would farm that on Heroic at Roosevelt Island for the exotics. And then of course Legendary if you can, to farm for the highest rolls on a good light machine gun that you want to use. If you want to, you can farm DARPA Research Labs instead of Roosevelt Island, but I highly don't recommend that, and this doesn't have a legendary option if you want to farm on legendary to get the best rolls possible. Otherwise, if you want, you can farm heroic with a couple of directives on. That should increase your loot rolls that you get by a little bit. And then of course Walker Harrison Co. If you don't want to farm Manning National Zoo and you'd rather farm West Potomac Park, there's 3 control points here you can farm back to back if you'd like that. And then for Petrov, if you're looking for the contractor's gloves, you can always grab that at bank headquarters or Constitutional Hall area. Anyway, that's what I'd recommend for the west side. Let's move on to the east side highlights. On the east side, we do have holsters at Jefferson Trade Center, Araldo Holdings at Judiciary Square, Providence Defense at Viewpoint Museum, Goal Line Gear at East Mall, and gloves at Capitol Building Stronghold, rifles in Southwest, gear sets at Space Administration HQ, and China Light at Jefferson Plaza, and Overlord Ornaments at American History Museum, which I'd much rather farm over Camp White Oak. And we got masks at Grand Washington Hotel as well. So if you're looking for the Coyotes mask, I'd recommend the Grand Washington Hotel. All Warlords of New York exotics from Season 1 now dropped from targeted loot pool. So if you're looking for the Coyotes mask, you can go ahead and hit up Grand Washington Hotel. If you're trying to make a perfect headhunter build, I would check out Araldo Holdings. You at least need 1 piece of Araldo Holdings. And ideally, like what I have is an Araldo Holdings backpack with, I believe it's Vigilance on it. So I would want to check that out for that perfect headhunter build. Holsters at Jefferson Trade Center, so that's if you want the Imperial Dynasty or the Forge. That'd be a good place to farm. Providence Defense at Viewpoint Museum. Like I always say, if you need a DPS build, I just actually put out a DPS build video earlier yesterday. So if you want to check that out, you can. I'll have it in the card in the top right. But that also has 3-piece Providence Defense, like really any DPS build. So you might want to check that out and grab this at Viewpoint Museum or get a better rolled Providence Defense piece. Or if you're looking for the Sacrifice, you can also farm that here as well. Gloves at Capitol Building. If you're looking for the BTSU gloves, you can go ahead and farm this area. It is a Black Tusk mission because it's invaded this week. I would definitely check that out since you have the highest chance to get the BTSU gloves. The drop rate increases when it's Black Tusk. The No Hope Hotel XP farm is right here in the southwest area. If you're looking for a good rifle, I recommend the classic M1A with Boomerang, then maybe Rifleman. And then of course the Baker's Dozen, which I actually got today from Targeted Loot Rifles as a reward for a control point, I believe it was. So if you're looking for Baker's Dozen or any of those other rifles or Merciless or Diamondback, I would check out the southwest area. And for gear sets, anything but Foundry Bulwark, chest, and backpack pieces can be farmed at Targeted Loot for gear sets, so I'd check that out as well. And China Light for the explosives damage on a explosive skill build damage build. Alright, let's head on over to New York City and then I'll let you guys go. Alright, we got Badger Tough at the Tombs, Gear System Mods at Civic Center, Providence Defense at 2 Bridges, and we got Alps Summit at Stranded Tinker, Gila Guard at Pathway Park, Body Armor at Battery Park, Grupo Sombro at Wall Street, Skill Attachments at Liberty Island, and Shotguns at Financial District. The only thing I'd really recommend over here is Shotguns at Financial District. If you're really looking for the sweet dreams, you can farm that here. Grupo Sombro is a good brand. I targeted loot farmed here yesterday and I got a really good piece. Holster, I believe it was, all reds. It was nice. Or you can farm it for the 2-piece explosives damage if you're looking for an all yellow rolled one. I also recommend Providence Defense, but there's a mission over there in the east side of DC, so you might want to farm there. And of course, Gila Guard, I forgot to mention the west side highlights. That's awesome for shield builds, so you might want to check that out at Pathway Park. It's up to you. I believe it was at DCD headquarters. If it is, then I would just go farm there instead of Pathway Park. Alright guys, well that's going to be it for the daily targeted loot allocation for July 9th, 2020. Subscribe and like if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care, agents. Shadow Gaming signing off.